This is Wednesday the 13th. This is the latest spring I've ever seen, I guess. Typically we are grafting by the last week of February. And about 3 years ago we actually started on February 18th. We won't even be going by March 18th. But today the weather finally broke. We got up to about 40 degrees today. And on March the 7th, I had a phone call from a client, and he said that at that time we had had 12 hours that was above 32 degrees for the whole year. Most of the time it's been hanging around the 20s or a little less up here. But it's 6:30 in the evening. I'm out walking around in shirt sleeves, long sleeves. It's about 38 degrees. So maybe things are finally going to turn around. Man, it's been a long winter. Well, actually January wasn't bad. We got most of our weather in February. So all I've done is move snow. You know, I haven't been able to make any videos, any car videos or anything for you guys. Haven't been out and about doing anything, but we're going to. It's coming. I just have to come out and visit this old boy once in a while. You know, this truck has kind of a unique feature. There's a lot of newcomers to this channel, so I'm going to explain something to y'all. This is the original 1932 Chevy engine that came in this truck. It's a 194 cubic inch, and yeah, later on in the 60s Chevy made another 194, but it didn't look like this one. This is a predecessor to the 235 and 216 that we're all familiar with, but it's a different size block. This is the first generation Chevy 6-cylinder. Before this one there was a 4-cylinder, which I have one sitting down on my driveway. Even then was an overhead valve. But anyway, I started to say there's something unique to this thing, and I don't know if you can see it down there or not, but there's a chunk of aluminum right there. Focus. So what I did was, I got that chunk of aluminum, and I carved out an adapter plate, and I put a 1990 S-10 T-5 transmission behind that old 1932 Chevrolet engine, and lo and behold, the input shaft on that S10 tranny slid right into the pilot bushing on that old engine. Try that with a Ford. See how you get along. Another thing I did that's kind of unique on this rig is, I don't know how much you can see it here. Oh, that's my back glass in that sack. The back glass finally fell out of this thing after driving it for 8 years. It was cracked all along. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of dark in here. But what I did was, I had such a long shifter on this thing, and of course I had YouTubers telling me it was too long and this and that, but I like it. I wanted a guitar neck because we got kind of a theme going. We got, an old 1940s microphone on the radiator up there, and we got a drive-in speakers for the air cleaners, and we've got a rockabilly rat on the back. I call it the rockabilly rat. And we've got a rat fink rat back there shifting the rig. I'll just show you because it's such a good likeness of myself. There's the old rat fink and the guitar shifter and the rockabilly rat. But well, this had such a long shifter in it that when you go over here, you just about hit the passenger in the face. And now there's lots of clearance. So what I did was I shortened the throw on that shifter. So it's only about, travels only about half as far as it used to. And I'm wondering if any of you newcomers to this channel might be interested in how I did that. So we'll go back we'll go dig back in the archives and see what we can find out. about that rig. Because I just don't have anything else going on. We're hoping to get started doing some grafting next week. The temperature's supposed to be better from here on out. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and I'll show you guys how I shortened the throw on the transmission, if that's of interest to anyone. If it is not, there's a little button on the bottom you can click and it'll take you away. You don't have to put up with this. All right, later now. Appreciate you. Fire in the hole. I believe my pants are on fire. One of the main things that I truly want to get done this winter is shorten the throw on this shifter, because I don't know if you can see if I can keep it in frame, but it moves all almost 2 feet, I guess. And it hits the passenger right in the face when you go into reverse on that T-5. And I want to shorten the throw on that. I don't really want to shorten the stick. I set up a drill a bit in that other hole back there so that I can line it up and know that I'm getting the new hole straight, or at least the same angle as the previous hole, the original. So I don't know, maybe wrong, but looks to me like it's working. We'll see. Well, there it is. What do you think?
Our figures show that when a customer spends $1 on his automobile, 90 cents of it goes for the things that our dealers do not normally supply or make a point of supplying as conveniently as do others. By this I mean washing cars, greasing cars, adjusting brakes, flushing radiators, repairing headlamps, bumping out fenders, and general body work. If more of our dealers would set themselves up to make it attractive for their customers to come to their service stations for everything, and put a price on these items that would be in line with competition, I do not think the average Chevrolet service station could take care of all of the customers who would come in. Some dealers have said to me, "Why is it that I am only getting between 20 and 30% of my owners?" while I'm not sure that I know the answer, I'm very suspicious that the reason they don't come back is that either the Chevrolet dealer charges more than service competitors in that community charge for the same class of work, or they are not treated as courteously, or they feel the work is not done promptly, or that the work is not done satisfactorily. We created the Chevrolet service business by selling the automobile in the first place, and it's ours by right. But we have the right to claim it only when we offer general service at least equal to or better than that of others doing the same class of work. It seems to be the height of folly to attempt to fill our service stations with work unless we meet these issues, and in too many of our service stations today, these issues are not met. So we say to those dealers who want to make more money out of this business, and especially from the service end of it, look to your service. Find out whether you would come in willingly yourself if you were a Chevrolet owner instead of a Chevrolet dealer. And when you can answer these questions in your favor, you will prosper and profit in your service department. The next most important subject is, how will we come out on the used car situation during the coming year? This subject increases in importance when you consider the fact that for the first time in Chevrolet history, we will have 2 lines of 6s to sell. The question has already been asked, will there be 2 different used car appraisal prices on the standard and the master lines of Chevrolet 6s? And while we cannot answer that question now as accurately as we shall be able to after we have had a little more experience, I should like to give you this thought for what it is worth. Any used car that you take in, whether on the standard or the master, is worth only so much in a used car market when you sell it. The buyer of a used car is not interested in what kind of a car you took it in on. He will only pay so much for it when it is his turn to buy it from you rather than to sell it to you. It seems we should have enough courage and enough managing ability in all of our places of business to know what a used car is worth and pay that figure, no more, no less. On no other basis can we continue to be good businessmen and keep the proper control of our used car situation. Each year we have stood before our dealers and encouraged them not to be reckless in bidding on used cars, and not to be led astray by what this dealer is reported to have said or to have bid as against some other dealer. A Chevrolet dealer who knows what used cars are worth and trains his organization to pay what they are worth will be a much better Chevrolet dealer at the end of the year, both for himself and the company. The Chevrolet Motor Company believes that Chevrolet dealers can improve themselves financially in 1933. But to accomplish this, a certain few definite things need to be done by every dealer to get a better profit out of his business. First, do not permit your expenses to increase. In some instances, they should be further decreased. Second, see to it that you add to your gross or overall income by bringing in more profit through your service department. Next, do not be led into a bad used car situation, either by overbidding or permitting your stocks to accumulate. And last, have an aggressive selling organization. While the product that we have appeals to the public, and perhaps it will be easier to sell than heretofore, nevertheless a good product requires aggressive selling if you are to get from your territory all of the business as well as all of the profit that is there for an aggressive dealer. We want you to get all of the business you can, and we want you to protect the Chevrolet Motor Company in turn by giving us the business to which we are entitled from your community. We confidently expect an increase in volume over 1932. We believe this is a reasonable goal because our market has been broadened. The public recognizes the greater values and advanced features offered by Chevrolet. We started 1933 with the largest bank of unfilled orders we have had in several years. All of these factors are in our favor, and we already have a flying start toward our objectives. I want to thank you for coming here and bringing your department heads with you. I feel sure that the program we have arranged will be interesting and profitable. In conclusion, we pledge to you our continued cooperation and support, and wish for you a successful year in 1933.
Well, that appears to work, and it appears to work well. I beefed up my stick here a little bit. That was getting a little flimsy, and now she's beefed up and ready to go. All right, I think I want to take this apart now and put the boot on, and I didn't want to put it all together until I made sure it was all working right, and it appears to be. So I think we're good. Tune in next time and hear 63 impalers say, "It's good."